All right, so now we're going to solve equations using the subtraction and addition properties of equality. All right, so on this page, you may just want to hit pause and read through it. I don't necessarily want you to memorize anything on this page, but I do want you to understand what it says. So definitely hit pause and read through, and then send me any questions you may have. Okay, so what that last page said was, determine if something is a solution by substituting that value in everywhere you see that variable. So everywhere I see x, I'm going to put 3/2 in. So that means I'm going to put 3/2 right there, and I'm going to put 3/2 right there. And I'm going to see if it creates a true statement. If it creates a true statement, then it is a solution. If it creates a false statement, then it is not a solution. So let me show you what I mean by that. So I've got 4, and instead of x, I'm going to put 3/2 minus 2, and I'm going to see if that equals, so I'm going to put a question mark because I don't know if it equals it yet right now. So 2 times 3/2 plus 1. So 4 times 3/2, 2 will go into that once, 2 will go into that twice, 2 times 3 is 6. So I'm left with 6 minus 2. Does that equal, the 2's cancel, 3 plus 1. 6 minus 2 is 4. 3 plus 1 is 4. That is a true statement. 4 does equal 4. So I would say, yes, it is a solution. All right, so this page just says that if A equals B, then if you subtract C from both items on both sides, then you will still come up with something that is equal to each other. Let me show you what I mean by that. All right, so this says y plus 37 is equal to negative 13. So what you want to do is you want to ask yourself, what is happening to the variable y? Well, it's being added by 37. So what do you have to do to undo addition? You have to subtract that number from both sides. So this cancels. Positive 37 minus 37 creates 0. That's what you wanted to do. And now I've got negative 13 minus 37, which is negative 50. So now that's my solution for y. If I wanted to check my work, I can take that negative 50 and put it back into the original problem where I see y. Okay, so now I go ahead and do the math. Negative 50 plus 37 is negative 13. And that does equal negative 13, so I know for a fact that that is a good answer. All right, so this page is a lot like that last one. It says if A equals B, then if you add the same number to both sides, you still get something that is equal. And here's what I mean by that. So now ask yourself, A minus 28 is equal to negative 37. So what's happening with your variable? It is being subtracted by 28. How do you undo subtraction by 28? You add 28 to both sides. That's undoing that. This right here created 0. That's why it's going away. So on the left-hand side, I'm left with just plain old A is equal to, now you have negative 37 plus 28, which is negative 9. All right, so now if you want to check your work, take negative 9 and put it wherever you see the variable. So up here, I'm going to do negative 9 minus 28. Does that equal negative 37? So these guys have the same signs in front of them. I'm going to add those numbers together and keep that sign. And that is a true statement. So I do know that I have the correct answer here. All right, for this problem, again, look and ask yourself, what is happening to my variable? It's being subtracted by 5/8. So I want to add 5/8 to both sides of the equal sign. That created 0, so you've got that x is equal to 3/4 plus 5/8. 3/4 is the same thing as 6/8 if you multiply top and bottom by 2. So 6/8 plus 5/8 gives you 11/8. So my answer is 11/8. Now, if you did this on your calculator gave you an answer of 1 3/8, which is the same answer, and I would accept it for full credit. So now if you want to check your work, I'm going to take 11/8 and I'm going to put it where I see the variable, and I'm going to see if it equals 3/4. 11/8 minus 5/8 is 6/8. Does that equal 3/4? Well, if I reduce top and bottom by 2, I get 3/4, and that does equal 3/4. So we're in good shape. By the way, just so you know, checking your work, this is where we are checking our work. Checking your work is truly just for your benefit to make sure that you got the number right. Your actual solution is this right here. And you need to always say your variable is equal to some number, okay? Make sure that you always list it like that. Don't just tell me 11/8 is the answer. You want to say x is equal to 11/8. All right, for this problem, what's happening with our variable? Well, it's being subtracted by 0.63. So you undo that by adding 0.63 to both sides. This created 0. So now just do the math here. So you're still going to get a negative answer, and then you subtract those two numbers, really. So again, this is just something that, grab the calculator, type in negative 4.2 plus 0.63, and you get negative 3.57. This is our solution, and don't forget, n is equal to negative 3.57. So check your work. This is just for our benefit. Negative 3.57 minus 0.63, does that equal negative 4.2? So again, I'm going to grab my calculator. Negative 3.57 minus 0.63, and I get negative 4.2. And because those are equal to each other, I know I did this right. All right, so let's take a look at this one. Notice how you have like terms. Like terms are only like terms when they're on the same side of the equal sign. If they're on opposite sides of the equal sign, you have to move something from one side to the other side. So right now, these guys are on the same side. They're both on the left. I've got like terms here, and I've got like terms here and here. So 9x minus 8x, don't forget I have to read that sign in front of it. 9x minus 8x is just plain old x. And here I've got negative 5. If you want to do change, see how that became a negative 5? Negative 5, and if you want to do change there, you can. Negative 5 plus negative 6 is negative 11, so I can write that as minus 11 equals 7. Now I've got to get this x by itself. So I want to add 11 to both sides. So x is equal to 18. There's our solution. Now if we want to check our work, I would put 18 everywhere that I see x. 9 times 18 minus 5. I always go back to my original problem. 8 times 18 plus, oops, nope, that's not a plus in the original problem, is it? That's a minus. Minus 6 equals 7. We're checking to see. Now I'm going to type in the entire left-hand side at one time. So I would do 9, and I can even do parentheses here on my calculator. 18, close the parenthesis, minus 5, minus 8, parenthesis, 18, close parentheses, minus 6, and I get 7. So 7 equals 7. That's a great answer. So I know that this is a good solution. All right, so look at this problem. We know that we have distributive property. Now this closed parenthesis right here is a stop sign. It says do not distribute past this symbol right here. So don't distribute past the closed parenthesis. So I'm going to distribute 5 times n is 5n. 5 times minus 4 is minus 20. And then I'm just rewriting this, minus 4n equals negative 8. Now I do have like terms here and here. So those guys need to be combined. 5n minus 4n is n. And I just brought that minus 20 down. And now I would add 20 to both sides. And negative 8 plus 20 is 12. So now let's check it and make sure that we did our work right. So I've got 5 parenthesis, go back to your original problem, 12 minus 4 times 12. Does that equal negative 8? So let's do this math. We've got to do this first. 5 times 8 minus, I can go ahead and do this, 48. 5 times 8 is 40. 40 minus 48 is negative 8. Yep, that's true. So I know that's a good answer there. All right, so let's take a look at this one. Notice, okay, here's our equal sign. I'm going to draw a line right there where the equal sign is. And what you want to do with a problem like this, you want to simplify everything you can on the left side of that line that I just drew. You also want to simplify everything that you can on the right side of this line. So, first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to distribute that and that. So I've got 6y minus 3, and then this minus 5y just gets brought down. My equal sign is right there where that line is. All right, so now I'm going to distribute here, and I've got 2y plus 2. Now check this out. I've got to distribute here and here, but I've got this minus sign here, so I'm distributing negative 2 times y. So minus 2y, negative 2 times a positive 3 is a minus 6. Now, you want to combine your like terms on the left side, and you want to combine your like terms on the right side. So right here, 6y minus 5y, and I get just plain old y. This minus 3 doesn't have anything to combine with, so I'm just rewriting it. Now this, check this out. 2y minus 2y, those create 0. Those go away. So I'm left with 2 and negative 6, or 2 minus 6, which is negative 4. Now, so what we're left with is y minus 3 equals 4. So to solve this, we would add 3 to both sides. So you get that y is equal to negative 1. All right, so you might be asking yourself, can you check that? Absolutely. So let's do that. So I'm going to put negative 1 everywhere that I see y. So I've got 3 parentheses, 2 times negative 1, minus 1, minus 5 times negative 1. Does that equal 2 times negative 1 plus 1 minus 2 times negative 1 plus 3? All right, so now I'm going to simplify. This right here, that's negative 2, so I've got 3 times negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3, and negative 5 times negative 1 is positive 5, so I'm going to put a plus 5 there. Does that equal, in here, negative 1 plus 1 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. This right here, I get positive 2 times negative 2, so I get minus 4. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9 plus 5. And negative 9 plus 5 is negative 4. And check that out. It works. So this is our answer. All right, so over here on the left-hand side of this page, right here, right over here, those are all of the words, I shouldn't say all, that's most of the words that can mean that translates into equals. So is means equals, is equal to means equals, is the same as, is equals. The result is equals, gives is equals, was is equals, will be is equals. And so what you want to do whenever you're translating is look for those key words or phrases that will tell you where your equal sign lies. So that's step one here. Locate the word equals and translate that into an equal sign. And then you want to translate the words to the left into an algebraic expression, translate the words on the right to an algebraic expression. So let's try that. 11 more than x is equal to 54. Okay, so here's our equal sign right here. 11 more than x looks like that, and then you've got 54 on the right. So our equation can be written either as this, or you can write it like this. Okay? So that's step one. That's one of the things that I'll be grading whenever you guys take a test or a quiz, is I want to know, can you translate it into an expression? And this is one of the things that you need to do. So step one, translate it into the expression. Step two, go ahead and solve. So subtract 11 from both sides. You get that x is equal to 43. Or you could do it over here. Okay? All right, so that's it for this one. All right, we're going to translate and solve again. 12 less than x is equal to 51. All right, remember, whenever we see these words, less than, you've got to reverse the order. So 12 less than x looks like this. There we go. Now we're going to solve it. Add 12 to both sides. X is equal to 63. And again, these are problems you can check if you want to. You would take that 63 and put it back into the original problem. All right, here's another one that we're going to translate and solve. The difference of 7a and 6a is means equals -8. So difference means subtraction. So you have to write them in the order that you read them, because this is not one where you reverse the order. So you've got 7a minus 6a is means equals -8. 7a minus 6a is just plain old a. And there you go. You're done. There's your answer. All right, so this is just some helpful hints to solve an application. By application, I mean word problem. So again, read the problem, identify what you're looking for, name what you're looking for. By that, I mean choose a variable to represent that quantity, translate it into an equation, solve, check, and then answer the sentence with a complete sentence. Some professors are really picky about that complete sentence thing. I'm not super picky about it, but I do expect you to tell me, what does that number mean in this situation? You don't necessarily have to write a complete sentence, but tell me, if we're talking about cookies, you need to say 18 cookies. Or if you're talking about dollars, you need to have a dollar sign in your answer. Something that tells me that you are answering the question that's being asked. All right, so let's look at this. The McIntyre family recycled newspaper for 2 months. The 2 months of newspapers weighed a total of 57 pounds. The second month, the newspapers weighed 28 pounds. How much did the newspapers weigh the first month? So always look at your question mark, and that tells you what you're looking for. And so now I'm going to identify a variable. Let x equal how much papers weighed the first month. And so I know that x plus the second month's is equal to 57 pounds, because it said the 2 months weighed a total of 57 pounds. So now to find out how much they weighed that first month, I would subtract 28 from both sides. So x is equal to 29. Now 29 what? What does this represent? It represents a weight, And so what are these, what's the unit of measure for this weight? Everything here is done in pounds. So we're assuming that this is also going to weigh 29 pounds. If you wanted to write a complete sentence, you would say, the first month the papers weighed 29 pounds. All right, so that's it for this video. If you have any questions, let me know.